Welcome to another episode of the WRPG, where I, DM JGR, lead a group of adventurers through crazy capers, dastardly dungeons, exciting encounters, and do you know what? I think I'll just stop there. You're here to listen to the show, not a long-winded intro. So, without further delay, please enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of the Wreckage RPG with me, the DM, JGR, and this brilliant group of adventurers with us. We're going to dive straight back into the world of Uri. Just a couple of thank yous first. Green Ronin for the wonderful system that is Age that we're playing through at the moment, and also Syrinscape as well for providing a little bit of background noise here and there. So thank you to both of those. Right, well, are we ready to get straight onto this?
Ready.
Yes.
Cool. Right, so let's get started. The Skalvold clan, that's who the raiders were. However, they didn't seem to be in the region to raid in the traditional sense. They were found deep in the Slate Peak Forest, where they had built a makeshift camp, hidden away from prying eyes, and seemingly have collected enough supplies to see them through the winter. After finding this camp, and then being invited in at the behest of the clan Seer, our adventurers began to ask the many questions racing through their mind. Well, all except Mac, who had someone else on his mind. Jeremy, wherefore art thou, Jeremy? Safe amongst the small flock of sheep in the camp, that's where. As the clan and their families observed the group's arrival, there was a tension in the air. For our heroes, the mysteries and scepticism around this clan grew when it turned out that most of their decisions were based on the whim of the visions from a seer. She had seen this region as one of safety, and had seen our heroes as a group of courageous warriors fighting back some army of darkness. As the morning progressed, both parties gathered around the small campfire, drinking hot herbal tea and drink-breaking bread. However, trust seemed to be a key issue. A brew was offered by the clan, a test that if passed would show them to be worthy. If not, might prove a little dangerous to their health. The tests were undertaken. Mac fought for his clan, Galen cleansed a tomb, Gillis tamed vines, and Tink saved a queen. All survived, some having more bruises than others. With the test passed, the clan instantly shifted their demeanour towards the group and offered them a task. Find their sanctuary, the place where they can survive and hide. And maybe this will make everybody in the region happy. Feeling this was a fair deal, our group headed out from the camp in search of the source of the vision, heading north to follow a river that flowed between three giant peaks deeper into the forest. Here, Mac, Gallus and Galen stand in front of two giant stone doors in a dark, wide cave, a cool, damp breeze hitting the skin. An entrance hidden behind a veil of fast-flowing water. In front, a pedestal, between four ruined columns. Around the floor by the pedestal lie skeletons, dried corpses, and many, many cups. Tink, refusing to climb, waits at the base of the small scramble to the cave behind the falls. But now the sun is starting to make its way to the horizon once more. Another day coming to an end. You start to feel the crispness of the short winter days, feeling ever more present. What would you like to do?
I think Tink splitting the pie is probably not a good idea. I think Tink will resign himself, and if he could sigh, it kind of comes out more like, you know, those old like 56k modems when they connect to the internet. Kind of makes a noise like that, and then he just sort of starts his climb to follow the others.
Okay, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to roll a climbing check, which is a strength test.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Oh, so you sort of start making your way up, scrambling up this sort of relatively easy climb. I mean, you're not used to climbing. This is not your thing, and your foot slips a couple of times, and you sort of reach out to a handhold, and the wet rock just slips through your metallic hand. But you sort of manage just about to get up to the top. Your foot slightly slips just before you get there, but you pull yourself up and you sort of manage to get to the top, and you sort of get up and brush yourself down to make it look like you never even had to do the climbing. And you sort of see the rest of your group in front of you just looking out at this scene of cups and skeletons and sort of dried corpses, and this sort of dampness on the walls sort of really hits you as you sort of walk your way behind the waterfall.
I inspect my clothes for scuffs, scratches, marks, etc.
With your, you've got a slight tear in one of your sort of in your long coat, just down to the bottom, just from where it got caught on a little rock.
Ooh, not good.
I can hear Tink twitching from here. Gillis is just going to say to the group, guys, I'm not doing too well here. I'm pretty knackered, and as much as it would be repugnant for me to ask for help from another god, Galen, do you think you could perhaps help me out here?
So seeing obviously that Gillis is in dire need of healing, I should probably try and help the guy out. So yeah, let me see if I can cast some kind of.
I mean, you could put him out of his misery and push him up.
Healing touch. Well, I could do that. Like proper 300 style, just like give him the boot.
Take less than that to finish him.
Let's try and do healing touch on him then. So this is a magic spell. It cost is 1 to 3, so I'll spend all 3 magic points because we really need to heal him up. Feeling his pain right now.
Level 1 coming up.
Yeah, here we go. So
does more damage.
I think the test level is just 10.
Yes, it will have a level next to the spell. So yeah.
I haven't done it. I've rolled 8. Sorry, mate. Just it's a bit damp in here. I can't get the old hands to work.
So
you are there, sort of trying to, for some reason, just at this moment right now, you just can't seem to channel the magic to actually provide healing to your comrade.
This cave is really damping my style, you know.
Audibly, Gillis rolls his eyes at the weakness of your pathetic god. And Scott just sort of suggest, hey guys, look, before we go any further into what looks like a very ominous dungeon, could we perhaps rest up a bit? I'm not sure if you guys recall, but I kept getting woken up that night of rest we did have.
It sounds like a good idea. Let's make rest. Could we maybe fashion a little little fire to gather round in this cave? Are there suitable?
A few desiccated corpses, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Rob, make an investigation check.
What, everyone?
No, Galen.
Oh Jesus! Am I rolling dice again?
Yeah.
So investigation is on. So I don't have the chart here. I'm assuming it's like perception.
Intelligent.
Yeah,
perception.
Perception.
Yeah, searching test. Sorry.
That's good actually. I've got 11, 12. I got 12, but I rolled a double. So double 5.
Okay, so you sort of have a little look around. No sticks.
No sticks.
You know, it's a cave. There's sort of wet moss. You know, most things would be a little bit damp in here. You know, as you do look around, though, what you do notice is that sort of there's these sort of individuals, just odd corpses. They look like they've been here a very long time. And you know, but looking around, that's about the only thing that you really see in your search for sticks.
Do they look like they all kind of perished at the same time, or are they different ages of?
Different ages.
And when you say ages, that's like armour type and things like that.
I would. Let's say roll a intelligence test history.
Oh, I don't have history, but I'll give it a go. No, I've got 9.
9. You don't really know. The only thing that you can quite obviously work out from this is some of the some are skeletons, whereas some are sort of very. You can see that they've got like a little bit of not flesh left on them, but very dry skin and a little bit of tendons. But they all look pretty old, to be fair.
And did you say something about there were some chalices around here.
Yeah, so what you do notice is sort of like near each person there is like there's a chalice, and what you also notice is sort of around the pedestal there are just a number of chalices just sort of at the pedestal itself.
Cool. I'm just going to pick up a random chalice. Can I fill it with water from the waterfall and give
Before he
Guinness
does
a
that,
drink? He looks
Tink-
like he's
Tink
a bit,
just stops
bit
him.
parched.
Tink physically stops you. It may be wise, sir, to recall the tale of the architect who ventured into a temple, one of doom, and partook of a last crusade. I believe choosing poorly would not end well for our friend here.
It's just a cup, though. Surely he just wants a drink. Look,
I just stick my head out under the waterfall with my mouth open.
Look around.
Let's get blasted off the side.
Yeah, do a dexterity check. Oh, he's gone.
I'm so thirsty.
Okay,
I would definitely. I'll say to Galen, I'm not drinking out of any of those. Thank you for the offer, Galen, but no.
Cool. Okay, whichever random chalice I picked up, I lob it out the waterfall.
Okay, you lob it out the waterfall. It sort of, as you lob it at the waterfall, it sort of flies towards the waterfall, and there's this moment when it hits the waterfall, and you sort of see this little poof of dust off the side of the cup. As you know, it was a very dusty cup that you picked up, and it sort of just flies out and sort of disappears behind the veil of water. You can't see it.
Gillis is no longer thirsty.
That's the last time I offer you water. Crow boy.
Yeah, so I'm starting to feel a bit of a shiver now, and I'm sort of like, Galen, if a guy whose second name is Pyreheart of the Ember Order can't start a fire, I mean, we're pretty doomed.
Well,
there must be something here. Can we not burn your feathery cloak?
No, this is a raiment. It's not a cloak.
But it is combustible.
So are you.
I'm made of metal.
yeah, but your clothes aren't, are they?
Yeah.
These clothes are the finest
You don't
clothes
need clothes.
tailored within all of Marquis.
Bet they make
We
a
are
nice
not-
fire as
You
well.
don't even get
They
cold.
are not for burning.
Mac, make an intelligence
If only
check.
Jeremy was here.
Just a sheep running around on fire.
Quick, catch his warmth.
If we
Yeah,
got
just a
Jeremy with
flat
us,
intelligence check.
No,
No, he stayed back.
Jeremy's
at the
gone to a better
camp.
place.
No, Jeremy's with the.
He probably would
the
have done a
clan.
better job of climbing that waterfall than me.
I don't think I've got anything on me to like. Can we attempt rudimentary healing though? Can we try and like
Yes, yeah, you can. So what you can do is when anybody takes a amount of damage, you can do a heal action. So it's just an intelligence check, and then you
okay.
can heal them. If you pass it, it's a DC of 11 always. If you pass it, you can heal them whatever value is on the stunt dice of what you rolled.
Okay, so Tink is going to stroll over to Gil, and he's just going to he sort of extends his hand, and his fingers convert into like a little sort of needle and thread type thing, and he's going to try and stitch up whatever wounds Gil has.
Yeah, so sort of like his little scratches and marks from sort of the various fights he's had.
Oh,
Having a fight
Well-
with a thistle.
I've got 6, 7, 8 plus intelligence.
Oh, no.
is 10. Well, no,
10.
I've got 2 intelligence.
Oh,
So you're sort of like there, you sort of like, it's sort of cut out a lot. He's got a couple of scratches, and you sort of like this, and you get a little bit of, you make a little tear of his cloak, and you sort of like try and make a little patch to go over it, and it just falls straight off.
Well, at least you didn't make it worse, mate. Don't worry about it, Tink.
yeah.
Matt, do you want to have a go? We've all had a go on on Gillis.
Can I heal myself?
Don't you worry, I will heal you. And I'm going to have a go.
Administer the anaesthetic.
Gillis's
which is a
eyes
large
widen.
club.
10.
So Max comes across and sort of like just puts his hand on it, and sort of like, you know, the scratch that you can see, and then you pull your hand off and look at your hand. Didn't work.
There you go. Or better.
I'm gonna-
I give him a
I'm gonna
rub on
try
the
it
head.
myself.
At the same
That's
time,
some
can you
more
make
healing for
can
you
you
there.
make a second intelligence check, Mac?
Ooh, 15
15.
with double fives.
Do you know why you rolled so high? That's because the whole time this was going on, and everybody was talking about wood and things, you had a brainwave. There's a forest out the other side of the waterfall.
We could go and get some wood from the forest. There are lots of trees.
I refuse to climb back
Gonna say,
down.
if I climb back down there, I'm not coming back.
Can you fly with your
I
cape?
can go and get you wood.
How to derail an adventure in 3, 2. We couldn't
Episode
start a
4,
fire,
the
so we
search
went
for
home.
wood.
Surely one of us has 50 feet of hempen rope that we can use to, like, you know, abseil back down and get back up a bit easier.
Surely you've got like loads of material.
You do remember that the clan gave you a little bag before you left.
Can I have a look in the bag?
You have a look in the bag.
I bet there's like everything we need in this bag.
As you look in the bag, you notice that they gave
Just
you
fire in the bag.
Ready-made
they
fire kit.
they gave you a scout bag. So what you've got inside there is you've got they put in an extra tent. So that you've got 2 tents.
Burn the tent.
But you also do find some rope. You also find a little bundle of torches as well, and also a flint lighter.
Oh, well, there we go.
To be fair, Tink doesn't need the. You don't
Don't
need
need
the
the-
flint lighter while you've got Tink, because he can just click his fingers and make a spark.
A Swiss Army robot.
Yeah. Without a tent. Or wood.
Yeah. Doesn't need one, though. It doesn't get cold.
Nah, true.
Without meaning to kind of usher this on, should we just go down? I'll go down and get some wood. Let's go down and
Okay.
chop down a tree.
Let's
and
tie it- let's tie the
Mac,
rope
I
to
might
something.
need you to hoist this up or something with some rope. I'm not going to be carrying these tree branches and stuff back up.
Okay, so what I would like you to do is are you climbing with or without the rope?
I might as well
With.
climb down with my rope. Have we got a scout bag each, or just a combined bag?
You've got one bag. They gave you one
Okay,
bag.
fine.
We
So
tie the
I'll
rope
climb
off at the
down
top.
using the rope. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So who's going to tie the rope?
I don't mind. I'll give it a go.
Okay.
The person that likes to make clothes. If he doesn't know his knots,
Yeah, if
then
you
he's
can't tie
not ready.
So
Well, you couldn't start a fire.
I'd like you to
Mr.
make a
Priest at the end
crafting
there.
check, please. So this is on your dexterity.
Oh god. Okay, I'm only Dex 1, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, crafting.
Oh dear. 7
Just chop
plus
the rope.
1, 8.
8. Okay, cool. So you've tied a knot. You think it's okay. Right. So
It looks really good.
looks fine. Galen, you going down?
Well, I've got no reason not to trust him, right? I've not.
Are you using the rope? So you're using the rope.
I'm gonna
so,
I'm gonna have to use the rope. Yeah.
So as you start climbing down, you start going down. My first roll. So as you manage to sort of climb down, it's a couple of times where you sort of feel a little bit of a give in the rope, but then it sort of sorts itself out. But you manage to get to the bottom, and all is well. I would like you to just make a searching check.
Search for that wood in the forest.
What's searching again? I'm assuming is going to be perception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't see the wood from the tree.
15.
15. Okay, so it doesn't take you too long to find decent wood for a fire. Like with it being wood, there's odd stuff that's on the ground that's sort of wet and sodden and wouldn't actually make good fire stuff from the last couple of days. But you sort of, because it has been raining recently, you managed to find some wood in sort of patches where the sun shines down and it's pretty dry.
Fellas,
over the course of
I've
the
got wood. I've got wood.
day. So you sort of take your little pile of wood back. So you how are you getting the wood back up?
So I'm going to tie the wood to the rope like a bundle, the bottom of the rope, and I'm going to then shout up to Mac to hoist it up.
I thought Mac was down with you.
Mac came
No,
down.
I'm at the top.
Ah,
no,
okay.
I'm at the top.
Okay.
Good,
So
good.
Mac, if you can make a strength check.
Would this be a might check?
Yes, it would.
Oh,
Might be.
that's lucky. Right, so that's 11.
11, yes, you managed to pull it up. It's sort of like you can see Matt sort of puffing his muscles up. He's struggling a little bit with this, but he does manage to get it all the way up to the top fine. You've got a nice little pile of wood up at the top.
Chuck down the rope, Mac. I need to come back up.
Alright, I'll throw it down.
Okay.
Is it still tied?
It is still tight.
Throwing the whole rope down.
I would like you to make a climbing check, please, Gillen.
Can I ask Mac to kind of help pull me up as well? Because I don't want to have to climb it myself. I need a bit of assistance. I'll do a climbing test. Oh, sweet Jesus, no. What is this on? What's climbing on? This is like the end of the adventure
strength.
right here. Strength. Or 9.
9. Okay.
Defeated
So
by
with the help of the rope, you sort of managed to get up. You know, your feet are slipping, and you sort of managed to climb yourself all the way up, and the rope just about holds. You get to the top. Oh, you feel a little bit of a give, but then you sort of scramble your way up to the top, and you manage to make your way to the top. Just.
Oh.
So you have a pile of wood.
Right.
Okay,
You,
so
Mr. Firelighter,
cracking.
come on, crack on.
Well, he just walks over to it and just clicks his fingers like right next to the pile
Clicks
of
his
wood.
fingers.
Yeah.
As he
and
clicks his fingers, there's a little spark that comes out, and you sort of some of the smaller kindling that Galen collected sort of starts to spark and catch a fire, and you're sort of all there for a few moments, mesmerised by this fire as it takes hold and provides you with a bit of warmth within the cave.
Excellent. I
That's
think
good.
Tink is going to need to get
Can I
some
try and do
rest.
the heal action on myself? Oh, sorry, Tink.
Yes, you can try. Well, it's supposed to be another character, but you can have a go at it as well. Well, actually, yeah, you can
I'm
do
just
it to yourself.
exacerbated by the other
You
characters
can-
having
no,
a
you
crack.
can do it
This
to
is where
yourself.
he kills himself. Like, right, I'll do it myself. Just-
Oh no.
Oh, 16.
It's a
Yeah,
16.
so
That looked like
this
triple
whole
one,
I
time,
didn't tell.
this
Yeah, no.
this whole time, Gillis has just been like
It's a
sort of
double 6
patching
with a
up.
4.
So what was your stunt dice of those?
4.
4. So you get 4.
Oh,
hit
the bottom
points
dice. Yeah. Yes. I'm on 14 now. Out of
And
29.
you cannot receive another heal until the next time you take damage.
Okay, well, hopefully we're going to actually rest now, because
Yeah.
Gillis needs his beauty sleep.
Tink is going to go stand in the corner and like shut down effectively.
Okay. So
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
so you're gonna have sort of like very quickly buckle down and have a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Might as well wait,
Okay.
wait
Put
the
the
night
tents
out.
up, or
haven't
we're just
we?
going to get some kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the warmth of the fire, as it sort of like sends you to sleep, like within this cave, because of the sort of enclosed nature
Carbon
of it,
monoxide.
I was going to say, is there good ventilation, right?
you are well, yeah. There is out to the front of the cave. There is, and the water's there, and actually, it's rather like a really
It's like white
wonderful
noise, isn't it?
noise to fall asleep to. Like it just sort of allows you to switch off really quickly, and you all sleep pretty well. You had an exhausting couple of days, and up here nothing really knows you're there. So you can all you gain 10 plus your constitution plus your level in health.
Hey.
So 10 plus your constitution plus your level.
Another 12 for me gives me 26 total. Yeah, I'm back,
13
baby.
health.
And then those of you who have magic points, you regain all your magic points.
Ah, bonus.
Very good, very good.
Nice.
Okay. So, you sort of start to wake up as the sun sort of begins to hit its way back into the cave, and there's sort of like this orange glow that just absorbs the room around you, and you sort of wake up to this beautiful colour. Again, there's you feel a little bit of a chill to you because it was chilly, and the ashen pile of wood sort of lies next to your little group, but you feel a little bit rested, ready for the new day. What would you like to do?
Okay, so after sleeping in amongst all these dead bodies, discuss to the guys. Okay, I feel a bit more invigorated, gents. So, what's the next
What's the
step?
layout of the room again, John?
Okay,
What's the
so
layout around?
So, out to the entrance, there's this sort of wide opening to the cave. It's sort of like a really wide, long opening with the waterfall flying off to the side. And it sort of like encloses towards these two ginormous stone doors. They are huge. Just in front of the stone doors, there's like almost like this little plaza with 4 ruined pillars of sort of varying kinds of ruin. Like there's one that's sort of almost full, there's a couple that are knocked over, and in the centre of these 4 pillars in this little plaza there is this pedestal. Now, what you sort of see is the pedestal in the centre, and at the base there's sort of these number of cups. And then as you sort of look around in the cave itself, there's just sort of like these skeletons and sort of odd corpses just around. You know, as you look around, there's probably somewhere in the region of about 10 or so, just scattered around.
Cups,
there's
not
one
corpses, right?
Yes, skeletons, and sort of like, you know, when I say they're not fresh corpses, they are very much they are dead and have been dead for a long while. But you sort of just notice them scattered around the room.
Do they look like they were adventurers or warriors or
Okay.
sacrifices?
As you sort of go and have a look at them, you do find like leather, sort of like really ruined leather pouch on one. They sort of like they've got an eclectic mix of equipment. I'd say you'd be able to probably draw the conclusion that they were some form of adventurers of some kind.
Bodes well.
It sounds like they
Have
tried
they,
to drink from the cups to try and get in and died.
Have they got anything of value on them? Can we do a search?
Okay, so what I would like you to do is you can roll a D100.
Okay. Oh. Helps if I don't drop the dice. I rolled a 93.
93. Okay, so you sort of walk over to the first body and you sort of like the skeleton and you sort of find this very ruined leather belt on it that's like sort of decayed and just sort of sat there like you know, as soon as you touch it, it sort of just breaks. What you do find is in sort of like a small pouch on the side, as you sort of open this pouch, the lid just comes off, and inside there's a really small wooden box. It's sort of the wood itself is very, very fragile, and you sort of like look at it, it's very damp, having sat in the cave, and you sort of open it up, and it looks like some things that you'd light a fire with, but very, very old, wet versions of them.
Useful.
Tinderbox.
Is there anything on the...
Max just gonna give the. Can you just give the door a push?
Okay, roll a might check.
And is there anything on the door? Can we inspect the door? Is there like an inscription or anything around it? Or...
So I'll let Matt do his...
Yeah.
15.
15. Oh, you push. It's not budging in the slightest. And as you're there pushing at this door, Tink sort of strolls up and looks at the door itself. And what you see is it's very, very faded, but it's beautiful. It's really intricate drawings and symbols that you can just about make out. And what you see is on the left-hand door, you see these small humanoid-like... they look like halflings, and they're all there, and you sort of like scrape away some of the dust and the damp and the things that are growing on it, and you sort of see them all like holding up a cup towards the centre of the door. On the other side, you see huge humanoid creatures. For the adventurers among you, they sort of look like bigger than ogres. They could potentially maybe be giants, and they too are holding cups up towards the centre of the door. And as you sort of look around the door itself, you sort of see writing in some form of runic language, and it sort of looks like it's one kind of runic language on the left hand side of the door, and then almost at the middle it just changes into a second runic language that is very, very different from the first. But you all sort of look at that, and I would say, Tink, roll a history check.
What stat is that on? I don't
That
know.
is on intelligence.
Okay. Adding 2 to this isn't too bad. Oh my god, 666. That's
Wow.
bizarre.
Okay. So, you don't
18.
know language. However, you are
No,
from
20.
Marquis, which
Yeah.
is the second largest city on the Aurum coast. And also within Marquis, there are some of the sort of region's finest collections. And you've frequented these collections and been around and looked at these sort of archaeological marvel pieces. And you instantly recognise the runic languages as Dwarvish and Giant. Like, you don't know what it says at all, but you're like, oh, do you know what? Those look like Dwarven runes. I've seen them on things and pictures, and those look like Giant runes. And you also know, because you rolled so high, you know that there are some theories that suggest that Giants once ruled this land. And that, their things from their age pop up, but sort of modern day hierarchy don't like to believe that. It is the mortal race's realm, and actually finding those kind of relics is exceptionally rare. You've really got to be in the know to find somebody who has those kind of things.
Gentlemen, this appears to be Dwarvish and Giant runes. Do any of you happen to understand these runes?
There
we are at
amongst a
an
group of people
impasse.
shaking their heads.
Okay.
So I guess one thing you mentioned there was obviously that the door had some sort of visual on it that indicated people holding up cups. Can I do a perception check to see if I can see any likeness between the cups that they're holding up and the cups that we can see on the ground around us?
Okay, so
Or the one you threw out.
Go on. I would say roll a
It was the one.
roll a seeing check. So it's a perception one as well.
Okay,
Sort of trying to draw a comparison between the two.
13.
13, yeah. I mean, you look at the image. I mean, it's faded. You see there's just a different array of cups that they're all just holding up. And then you sort of look around the room and there's just an array of cups just around the room, all sort of different ones.
What if they're not drinking from the cups, they're just holding them aloft as like a tribute?
That could work.
This seems quite ritualistic, so is there anything Gillis would understand about such rituals? Are they offering something of themselves up, perchance?
I would say, with your background, this kind of ritual is very strange to you. Who holds up cups? Such a strange thing.
Cups? Who even has cups?
Yeah, I mean, you drink from
Up from the
streams
woods.
and things,
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know city life.
No, but it's what's the door made of? Did you say it was stone or like hardwood?
Stone.
Oh, can't regrow it out of existence then.
Can Tink inspect one of the cups to see if there was anything, if there's any evidence of anything in it, like if there was blood in it, or instead of water?
With regards to like one of the cups around the
Maybe one of the
various
used ones.
skeletons.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
some of these skeletons have used the cups, right?
I mean, you sort of go around and you look around, like some of them are in their hands and held, others are just discarded. I mean, after this period of time, there's nothing in those cups. I would say you wouldn't find anything like dried blood in it, like there's no staining in them.
Yeah, we've got a black light.
Tink like adjusts his eye lenses. Oh god, what do we do?
Okay, so you said there was 4 columns.
Yeah,
Were
so
they
in
just
the
supporting
centre,
columns, or was there
so as
anything
you sort of
on
walk
them?
over, there's 4 columns, and you instantly also your eyes get drawn to the pedestal in the centre. What you see in the centre of this pedestal is there are 2 circular inlets, sort of on the side of the top. So on the top of the pedestal, there's 2 little circular inlets, and in the centre there is a small pool of water that just sort of seems to be slowly bubbling up.
Is there sort of a correlation between the size of the circular indents and the sort of bases of the chalices?
Looks like there might be.
Do you reckon just try?
Okay, guys. So Gillis is thinking out loud, and he thinks, "What if we put the water in the correct chalices and put them on the inlays? But how do you know which chalice is correct?" And I'm not going to lie, I don't fancy getting it wrong. Looking around.
So that all these cups actually look different.
Yeah, they're just sort of just different eclectic mix of cups.
So I would assume one big and one small, right? Dwarves and giants.
I actually think there's one from each race. That's good thinking, Tink.
Could be this.
Good tinking.
Could be that it's like a mechanism, right? It's not actually like the thing of them holding up the cups isn't. It's not like a magical thing. Maybe it's just a mechanism to open the door. You just need the right cups to do it, like a lock.
Okay, so I want to look around a bit more and see if there's any sort of. I want to collect as many of the cups as I can and put them in one place.
So it takes you a little bit of time, just looking around the room, but you manage to collect them all up. So you sort of find about 10 or so cups around, and you sort of bring them to the centre, which adds to like the other 5 or so that were in the centre. So you're looking at this group of cups. You've got tall ones, short ones. They're all quite plain. What you do notice about them is they're all metallic. They're all made of sort of some form of metal.
Tink is just going to wander over and kind of lean on the thing, on this little plinth in the centre.
Mm-hmm.
Does he detect anything magnetic? Is anything pulling him towards it?
Nothing's pulling him towards it at all.
Okay.
You know, nothing suddenly sucks you into the centre. Or
He's just kind of there. He's like one hand leaning on it, and the other hand is just like tapping his chin. You can hear like the metallic tink 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 of him tapping his chin while he thinks. It could be that we need to place these
We can hear
cups.
the tink 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 while Tink tinks.
Yeah.
Right, should we just start by choosing 2 random cups and placing them on the...
Bad idea.
Well, we're not going to drink anything, right?
You never watched Nightmare as a kid?
Looking back at the waterfall.
Just put random things and the ceiling starts closing in. Like.
And just going by the bodies around us. Did all the bodies have a chalice with them?
Yes, they do.
So there's
As
one
you look
sort of
around-
1-to-1 ratio of chalice to bodies.
As you look around, though, what you do notice is make an intelligence. I'd say, well, make a sort of searching check as you're sort of like looking around.
Is that intel, is it?
Yeah, intelligence. Yeah.
11 total. No, 12,
11
sorry.
total. So quite easily, what you do notice is that the bodies are all scattered around the room. They're all alone.
Maybe
There's
they were
no-
trying to do this by themselves versus with other people.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah.
Did you say on the door there was 4 dwarfs holding up cups?
So as you sort of go back and look at the door again, you sort of look and you sort of look at this image, and it's just like there's a number of them. There's like several of them, but there's sort of like one prominent image at the centre with this sort of dwarf holding up this cup, and this is sort of mirrored on the right hand side of the door, but rather than dwarves, there's giants.
But is there anything distinguishing on those 2 cups that match anything that we've gathered?
Not really, no. They're just sort of like, you know how, I say you know how, those of you who have frequented like old art, that sort of very basic chalice cup is what they look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a door with, on the left hand side of the door there is like a dwarf holding up a cup. On the right hand side we've got like a giant holding up a cup. On this plinth that's kind of aligned with the door, there's 2 like inlets for cups. Are we just going to have to kind of like replicate the thing on the door and basically have one person on the left with a cup, one person on the right with a cup, and maybe do a
Who
cheers
is
or
tallest and
something?
shortest?
Well, I think I'm the shortest and Max the tallest.
Tink's 6'8", so
Oh, right.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
tall.
7,
yeah.
so
I mean, Tink's long and thin, though. He's not broad. Okay,
Yeah.
so
I'm only about 5'7".
well, so
Everyone
stand on your knees then when you do this.
Put my shoes on my knees, like. be a door.
I think it's a good approximation, right? Maybe just always find the simplest cups. The ballad of the
Okay, I
Final
think we could do
Crusade.
Yeah, I think we could do it, but I'd suggest that Tink and Galen stand well back.
All right, fine.
I have decreed that I shall stand near the
We're doing this,
waterfall,
Okay.
near the
Right,
entrance.
Mac's going to rummage through the cups and find one he likes.
Okay. You find one you like. What's it look like?
Gillis is
What's that, sorry?
What's it look like? What's your favourite chalice look like? What kind of chalice would Mac like?
One that looks like perhaps like a drinking horn type.
Oh, so you sort of have a little look around, and you find this little chalice that what it is it's a metallic base, but it's made to look like a horn. And it's got a nice handle on it. It's like sort of this old drinking horn of some kind, but made of metal.
I have my
nice
cup.
cup, Mac.
Come on.
There's world's best
Thank
orc
you.
on it.
yeah. Gillis just closes his eyes, mutters a little prayer to the Almighty Lord Rook, and just hovers his hands over the collection of chalices, and just boom, dips in, grabs one, like those crap machines at the beach.
Okay, you sort of pick one up and you sort of open your eyes and you look at it, and it's sort of like it's really boring. It's just like a chalice that's just like plain grey, quite small.
He's very relieved about that. He doesn't like ostentation, he says in his
feathery
massive
cloak.
corvid skull hat and his feathery cloak. These are badges of office, they are not for ostentation.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Okay, so I've got my... I'm going to sort of make myself look even shorter in case there's some sort of height recognition software in this door.
Saw blade at roughly head height.
So, Macca, we've got to try and put these in at the same time, right?
Okay.
No, I mean the same time, Mac. You get this, right? It's very important that we get this at the same time. No distractions, Mac.
I have good focus. Alright, he's going to scoop
Okay.
up some water in his
Okay, scoop up
from
some
the
water.
centre bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take water from the centre as well. I didn't even think about that, but it sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so you sort of
Can I
you copy
sniff it? Is it-
Mac.
You're going to give it a sniff?
Yeah,
Does it
copy, Mac.
smell of... It's just water?
Roll
I
a
can't-
smelling check.
That's a number one stat you use, is smelling.
I have
All this might
proficiency
and
in
strength.
smelling. You'll be glad to know.
Exactly.
That's how he picks Jeremy out of a crowd.
Well, that's not bad. 16?
Do you know what you do notice about it? It smells like water, but it's warm water.
Oh, perhaps we need to wash. It is warm. We could clean up nicely. Perhaps they want us to look good before we come in.
I don't think anyone's ever got in here, Mac, looking at the evidence around us. Maybe they hadn't washed.
Nah.
Gillis isn't too keen on washing, in general.
Okay, so are we putting the cups in the holes? Or are we pouring water in the holes?
We'll put the cups in. We've got to have like. Do you think we've got to be balanced, as in the amount of water per cup? Or do giants have more water
Yeah,
than
they would.
dwarves?
You would assume.
Or are we overthinking?
I don't know. I'm stumped on this already. I mean, this is the crystal
Right,
maze.
let's
I'd
fill
be
'em to the
locked
brim,
in by
Mac.
now.
Let's fill them to the brim, Mac. Let's just go for it.
Alright,
Okay,
so I've got my cup full to the brim.
cups are full to the brim.
Yeah, same. And we're going to place them in 3. Right, hang on, Mac. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, then go. You good with that?
Okay.
Just had to be clear.
I'm ready. He's Mac's really focused. He's ready for this.
Right, I could see the concentration just ebbing from him. So 3, 2, 1, go. And Gillis puts his cup into his indent.
Yeah,
on
as
the
does
left-hand
Mac.
side.
Put them both down. They both fit perfectly.
And then I'm running for
You
the
run
waterfall.
away, and
Pursued by many whistling
Mac,
arrows.
go!
and you sort of wait and
A
pause.
giant sphere of concrete.
You wait and pause. Nothing happens.
Fuck.
Oh well, guys. The adventure's been fun.
Join us next time. Christ, how do we get through this?
Max going to like
we're
just
not
pick
dead.
his cup up and bang it down in the hole a bit.
Okay.
Perhaps it's like
Oh,
just a bit
Jesus.
stuck.
I would say Galen and Tink, because you're looking in the direction of the door, I would like you to make a perception check.
Oh, I've got 3 on perception. I'm good at this.
3 ones.
15 with double 5.
15.
I've got 10.
10. Okay, so Tink, what you notice, just a glimpse, as Mac is there smashing this sort of thing and making it, you sort of see and hear that the noise that the cup is making reverberates around the cave. And you just sort of like look and notice him. What you also notice is at the time he's doing this, you just see a very faint glow from the top rune on the door, but then it goes out.
Is it a musical puzzle? Is it the sound of the sloshing, or is it the sound of...
It was more the sound of the metal on stone, but it just didn't seem to be doing enough. Maybe it wasn't quite the right sound.
I think we need to hit the right... Maybe you've got to fill it to a certain level so that it makes a certain chime.
Or if it's like the crystal glasses with your finger around the edge to make a note.
Ooh, yeah, good shout.
But they're metal. Does it work with metal? They're magic metal. Who cares?
Yeah,
Plot armour.
it's worth a try. Yeah, well, I don't know if that's going to work with metal fingers on Tink, but perhaps at spotting this, I think Tink will wander over, kind of put his hand on Mac's sort of arm and say, "Permit me to try something," and get Mac to stop, basically, like smashing this cup up. So can Tink kind of just like gently flick the top of the cup and see if that makes like a reverberating noise?
Okay.
And see if anything happens.
So, as you flick the cup, sort of the sound that the metal cup against your metal finger makes, sort of almost seems to build in resonance, and it grows louder and louder and louder, and it fills up the whole cave, and it just continues to get louder. Not uncomfortably loud, but it just grows from that simple tink. And as it does so, the door, the runes around the door glow this vibrant, bright colour. And then there's a flash. And then there's nothing. There's silence.
You're all dead.
But then you hear this clunk. And this sort of cog turning. And the doors start to open up in front of you. As the doors open, there's this rush of dry air that just hits you. These doors haven't been opened for a long time.
Great job, Mac.
They
I
sort
think all that pushing you did earlier really opened those doors up. Just took a while, but we got
Tink
there.
just slowly turns his head from the door towards you and fixes you with like an icy stare.
Alright, Mac's just going to have a look at these people who died.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any clue as to how they died?
Not really. They've all just like holding these cups.
From opening the door.
Ark of the Covenant. Getting all the Indiana Jones in here.
Alright, he's just going to shrug then.
Okay.
Go and have a look at the door, I guess.
Maybe just drinking like cave water out of a dirty cup gave them like some sort of like disease.
So as you sort of like, as these doors are now open up in front of you, you sort of peer in. It's quite dark in there. Who's got dark vision, just so I know, or who can see in the dark? So Mac can,
I do.
and Gillis can. Okay, so those of you who can see in the dark, as you sort of like look in, you can still see that the light struggles to sort of almost reach the corners of what this sort of door opens up into. As you sort of peer in, you just see like a dust-covered floor, beautiful paved stones. And that's about all you can see from on the outside.
So Tink's gonna... Oh, sorry.
It looks like a corridor, you mean?
No, so it's sort of like there's a small corridor and then it sort of just opens up into a larger space.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Tink's going to pull out a little tea light from like a pocket, strike it, and insert it into his head, so he's got like a lantern focused through his eyes.
Yep. So he sort of puts it in, and this sort of lantern sort of opens up.
It's like a pair of mag lights out of his eyes, basically.
Same kind of distance as you would get with a torch, and you sort of like look in, and you see the same, and you sort of see this carpet of dust across the floor, and you can sort of just see these underneath. You can see these beautifully polished stone slabs.
I'm going to turn around to the rest of the guys and go, guys, if there is a Balrog in here, I'm not going to be happy.
Forgive me, Galen. What is a Balrog?
You need to clue up on your pop culture, mate.
I'm unfamiliar with the Ballad of the Balrog.
Oh, well, that will be saved for another time, my friend. No ballads here.
I think Mac's just going to walk up to the door and go, hello?
Okay. Hello? 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 Just echoes out into this sort of large space.
Can we inspect the floor? Because I do not want to just trudge in there and potentially go through a hole, you know, Jehovah spelt with an I and all that kind of stuff, right?
You look down and you sort of wipe away the floor, and you sort of look, and it's just like this layer of dust moves away, and underneath is just this dark grey stone. Looks rather similar to the stuff that lines the cave, but it's like intricately polished and looks like a paving slab, much finer than anything you've even seen in Marquee.
Can I
you say polished, like bowling alley style polished? Like, am I going to go flying if I step onto it?
Not polished like marble polished.
Okay.
This guy is anxious as hell. Right, I'm gonna reach into our little adventurer sack that we got, pull out one of the torches, pre-made torches, and kind of point it in Tink's direction and be like, "Can I get a light?"
He just kind of extends his hand and just clicks his fingers.
Clicks his fingers and the torch lights up, and you now have a light source as well.
Let's get going.
Lead the way.
So
Fine, I'll take point.
Out of character question, does sort of the fact that Tink's kind of projecting almost like Mr. on eyes around the cabin, and
exactly
the fact that Galen's got a obviously fire torch, does that negate mine and Mac's night vision? Is there like a weird sort of middle ground? So what you'll be able to see is sort of like, those of you who've got dark vision, you'll see like the light area in colour, and then almost as it gets further away where there would normally be darkness, you can kind of see grayscale for a little bit further, not much further, but like that sort of like you'd be able to process that. So it's not like you're light sensitive, it just means that where there's darkness, if you tune into the darkness, you'll be able to see into it. Cool.
So that's how I'll play it anyway.
Okay.
So you'll always have a little bit more vision when it's in the dark.
Tink is going to hang back and bring up the rear, I think, on this. He's not keen on going
in. Galen's going in first, is he?
Striding in.
I'm going to just say, come on, Matt. Come on, we got this.
Yeah, I'll follow him in.
Okay, so you make your way in, and this small corridor opens up into a large hall of some kind. In here, the light from outside is starting to struggle to reach the corners. You make out there's a small table off to the right-hand side, and you see out far in front of you another large door. On the left and right-hand side of this sort of larger hallway, there's two very rotten wooden doors. As you gaze around the room, you sort of see the dry, dusty walls, and there are long dormant torchbearers around the outside. As you sort of take more steps into this hall, you notice that your footfall is leaving its mark in the dust-covered floor. Clearly the first steps that have been taken in this hall for some time.
Can I ask a question? How, as we're looking around, we're seeing these doors and different kind of objects. Does everything seem like human scale, or is everything like getting bigger? Are we like the borrowers now?
What you notice is there's a strange mix. So the table that's off to your right, there's part of it that's big, part of it that's small.
So it's on a slant.
Useless table ever.
That's called a slide, John.
Yeah.
That's not a table,
So
mate. It's a sluice.
Yeah, so as you sort of look around the room, so the room's probably about 20 metres across. It's like some sort of entry hall. And yes, to your right-hand side, there's this sort of large rotten wooden door, and then on the right-hand side, there's another large rotten door.
I'm going to go and have a look at one of the doors and give it a push, see if it's unlocked.
Are you going
or not.
to go to the left or right door?
I'm going to go right.
Going to go to the right.
While this
Okay.
is going on, can I light all the sconces? You said there's torches and sconces, yeah?
Yep. Yep, there are.
Can we light them? Is there anything in there to light?
Yeah, there's just a long dormant torch sat in there. You sort of like try and light it. Some of them take hold a little bit, but then fizzle out straight away. There's one sort of nearer a second large stone door that does stay on a little bit longer, but it's very faintly burning away.
Okay, back to Matt.
With
then.
the rags that were left on it. Mac, for you, as you sort of like push this door open, you sort of look out ahead of you, and there's like a load of stalls, and sort of what you see is sort of these wooden little bits around the side. I would like you to roll an intelligence check.
Oh, it's his forte.
What's the negative on that, Rob?
It's only 0, so it's not
okay.
that bad. So that was 11.
11. Okay, well, it doesn't take a genius to work out that this room is some sort of stables. However, what's slightly strange is that there's no remains of any creatures here.
How are they getting these animals out?
They ramp them out through the waterfall, like like Batman when he comes out of his cave.
Oh yeah.
With the Batmobile in the 60s Batman, in the tale of 1960s Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like that, I assume.
You don't know how old this place is.
Who said it was horses anyway? It could be like Pegasus or
Yeah, it
eagles. Okay, I'll go have a look at the left-hand door then. If Mac checked the right.
Okay, so if you go to the left-hand door, so you open up this door, like they easily open, and so the rotten wood sort of falls back. It's dry rotten wood. This is a really large room, and it strikes you as being a little bit unsettling. There's a layer of dust on the ground, but here, rather than it being paved slabs, it feels like soil under your feet.
Okay.
As you look up, Gillis, with your dark vision, you see that there seem to be some sort of orbs up in the ceiling. And around the edge of the room, there seem to be weird mechanical contraptions and machines. They sort of lie crumpled and rusted over to the side. In some strange way, they resemble Tink. At the side of the room, there's also a console of some kind.
Okay. I'm gonna just look back over my shoulder and just go, Tank. Not to be offensive or anything, but this seems right up your street.
He kind of looks over and cocks his head because he's not sure what right up your street means, but he wanders over to see.
Okay,
Yeah, just
so as
because
you sort of
I
wander over, you
think
see the
anything
same-
mechanical
you
is
see
just
the
way
same thing.
beyond Gillis's comprehension.
What do I see, John?
So you see the same thing with your eyes. You sort of look around and you see everything in colour, and it's sort of revealed. And there's sort of these old. There's about 2 of them. There's these old rusted sort of metallic contraptions. They've sort of got arms that look like sort of digging tools and things, and sort of a couple of rakes on them. And they sort of they look kind of humanoid in some way, but not really. They don't look like metal contraptions. They look like they're trying to be built into something. But they are definitely seized up and rusted.
Do I recognise them as actually Orion, or are they just kind of facsimiles?
You have no idea what these are. They're just like metallic things.
They sound like...
They're certainly... They're no way, in any way, as sophisticated as an Orion.
Okay. It's just like... This appears to be farming machinery of some description.
What about the orbs in the ceiling, Tink?
They're just these large orbs. You can't reach them. They're far up in the sky.
I'm going to assume they're lamps, but... I think Tink will stride in quite confidently at this point. He kind of feels at home here, and he's going to wander up to the console.
So as he strides in, you feel the dirt under your feet, which makes you a little bit uneasy compared to the slabs that you're walking on. And you come across this console. It just looks like a series of buttons and levers.
There's no indication of what these buttons and levers do without pushing them, right?
None at all.
Okay. Gillis, it may be pertinent to stand back. I'm going to attempt to activate these machines.
So I take a step back and I cast regrowth on the door to reinforce it.
Okay. So yeah, you step back, cast regrowth. Do you want to do your magic points for that then?
Yeah. Let's do the roll first. Well, I don't reinforce anything anyway, but I'll take the magic point off.
As you try and sort of make this wood regrow, it's been far too dead, too long to have any kind
My
of
dice were literally 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you're going to press a button, Tink?
Yeah, what's the most prominent looking button? I'm assuming there's a big red one.
The big red one.
There is a big red button to the side, and you go, click! And nothing happens.
Fascinating. Can I inspect like around is there like a cable running from the console or anything like that? Anything that's
there's
obviously
sort of
disconnected?
Pipes. There's like these metal pipes and things and stuff like just sort of disappear off to the side and up to the top of the ceiling.
He's gonna.
So
are there any other buttons on the console he can press?
There's a couple more buttons, yeah. Little smaller buttons.
Can I press all of those?
Yeah, you sort of press them, and they make a click sound, but nothing happens.
What about the
Sorry,
levers?
can I ask an obvious question? These were the only two doors coming off of that main room. The
And
one
a
on the
stone
left.
door.
There were those two doors, and there was a large stone door, sort of in line with the entranceway.
Okay, can I go back and just inspect that other stone door, please?
Yeah, it's a big door. It's beautiful. It's a really large door.
It's a really big
intricately
door.
carved. It's really big. Very similar to the entranceway, but bigger.
Bigger? Wow.
And you're sort of like looking around at it, and it's got images of giants and dwarves, and this one, because it's been inside in this dark, dry cave, it's much more preserved than the one on the outside. And it's just this beautiful scene of sort of these two races living in harmony.
I'm not in the room at the moment, so I can't really give any guidance. Still pressing buttons.
So I'm going to head back to sort of the centre of the room. I'm happy with leaving Tink where he is, and have a look at where through the door Mac's looking through.
Yeah, so it looks... Yep, so you're sort of in... You look through the door, it's like Max just stood in the middle of this room, just looks like a stables.
Is it completely empty of everything?
Yeah, completely empty of everything.
But it's a large room.
Yeah, you reckon it could probably house about 20 or so?
Is there anything to indicate people left in a hurry?
Not really.
This stone door that I've
Looks
gone
like
back
a
to look
stables.
at.
I'm going to look somewhere else. I'm going to go and look in. I'm going to go and give the stone door a look.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'll
you
follow
walk
Mac.
over to the
Give it a
stone door.
push.
Galen's there. And as Galen's like looking at it, Mac just walks across and pushes it, and it opens. Really easily. Like, really weirdly easily. And it sort of like just opens up as you put your hand on it.
Okay, I was
Great
going to
job,
reiterate to the guys that that A seemed too easy, and B, if we look at what's going on as a pattern, so there's the dwarves and the giants obviously getting on well in this place. what if the room on the left, similar to the front door, is like where dwarves would go when they arrived, and the stable on the right, because it's massive, could just be where giants go when they rock up, like a entryway, like a cloakroom almost. Dwarves
Not
are quite
everything
good at
needs to be a
technology.
challenge, Gillis. Like, I think we can just we can just go through this door. I'm pretty certain.
That's Commander
there might be
Edgelord
something
to
on
you.
the other side. Don't overthink everything. Let's see if we go through this door. And we'll see what happens. And I just walk through.
Coming,
I mean, at
coming
this
from
point,
the Ember Priest who couldn't start a fire.
Tink is still like hunched over this console, just pressing the buttons. He's like laser focused. He's
So
forgotten.
is the rest of the group sort of in the middle, and Tink's just pressing these buttons. Nothing's working, by the way, Tink.
Yeah.
This great stone door opens up into a circular plaza of some sort. Surrounding this circular plaza snakes a large spiral staircase rising up above you. Dust once more covers everything in sight, like some ashen blanket. In front of you there appears to be stalls scattered in rings around a large central pillar that rises up and seems to support another structure above, where it meets with the winding stairs. To the right lies a grand, ornate door, stone, but this one has metal pipes and cogs running through its body.
Max, he's going to walk up to that one and give it a push as well.
Okay. As you try and push this one,
It pushes
push
back.
it and push it, and it doesn't seem to budge. No matter how hard you try.
Where do these? You said metal pipes and things like that. Can we see where they connect to? Where do they lead off to?
They go up.
They go up. Who fancies walking up this lovely spiral staircase then?
I will have a look. I'll wander up the
hang
spiral
on,
staircase.
I've lost everybody. 2
Oh.
seconds.
Okay.
Hello,
Okay.
we're back in.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Probably just.
That went well.
I'm back.
There he is.
Don't quite know what happened there.
I'm still
I'm back.
recording. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine. Right.
Yeah,
so
we
carry on.
well, we could go up this staircase. It might be pertinent to go back and seek the Orion, who's busily pushing buttons on a console to little effect. And we're gonna just hop back before we go into this room any further. Just kind of hop back and pull Tink through. Be like, I think there's something more impressive over here that might be working.
So as you spot Tink, he kind of stands up and he strokes his chin, and he sort of looks at the console, and then he just leans back in and just presses the buttons again. he's laser focused. I must.
Yeah, I've not gone back. You have, Galen.
Yeah, I feel I must activate these. Something compels me.
Alright, I'm going to have a wander up the spiral staircase then.
Okay. So you wander your way up the spiral staircase, sort of taking in the view below you as your sort of dark vision sort of sees into the corners around. And as you get to the top, there's sort of like this room, and it leads into the rock of the wall, sort of above where that grand staircase is. There's actually a small little bridge that leads into this room in the caves. And strangely, the dryness and the general coldness of the sort of ruins you're in seem to dissipate and wane here. There's like an inherent warmth being produced. As you sort of like make your way into this cave, sort of like looking in around, you sort of see a mixture of weird devices and things around, made of stone and metal. And there's lots of metal pipes that just go straight down.
Okay. Are there... The pipes go down... Where does the other end of the pipe go? Does it vanish into the wall somewhere?
It like sort of goes into this machine thing in front of you and then disappears back down. Sort of like seems to be like there's this circular array of pipes. You can't really make... There's just pipes going everywhere.
Okay.
It's a brewery.
I have found a thing. Does someone want to look at the thing?
So those of you down in the marketplace still who have watched Matt go out, you just hear this, I found a thing! Sort of echo down through this large circular cavern you're in.
Okay, I'll head up there because I think Galen's back in the previous room with Tink now, trying to drag him away from his obsession.
Yeah, okay, so you sort of
So I head up towards
walk up to
Macca's.
the top. And you're greeted with the same sort of room.
Okay, so
I
give the
don't know what it
pipes
is.
a knock. Are they hollow or?
Give one of the pipes a knock. Okay, so as you knock one of the pipes, where are you knocking? Are you knocking one on the wall or near the main contraption itself?
On the wall.
On the wall. So you knock one of the ones on the wall. It sort of sounds like it's got something flowing through it.
Okay.
Sort of like it doesn't sound like it's empty. It doesn't sound hollow.
Right, so hold my hand
as you
against
sort of
it,
go
I feel
round and
sort of like a
okay,
like a heavy
so
flow or
as you
steam
sort of
pipe.
feel this particular pipe, it's sort of like it's warm. It's not
Okay.
hot, but it's warm.
nice. I'm just
Are
going to
there any
lean
obvious
myself against the
levers or
pipe to get
anything
some heat.
on this machine?
There are levers and buttons. Yes.
I'm going to push one.
Okay.
This has never ended badly.
I would like you to make an intelligence check, please.
What, pulling a lever?
No, he's got to pick which one.
Oh,
He's got to
right.
pick the best
Okay.
one.
So that is.
Well, actually,
8.
no. Well, 8. I was going to change it slightly to a courage check because it's like the closest I can get to a luck one. So
Courage? What's courage under?
it's willpower.
9.
9. Okay. So as you pull this lever, you just hear this clunk and a clank, and then all of a sudden there's just this spray of hot air that sort of hits you in the face. I'd like you to make a dexterity save.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not good either. 10.
10. Okay. So you take 2 points of damage
God damn it.
as this hot air just smashes you in the face, and it sort of then dissipates and sort of goes away.
I don't think we should push that button again.
You sort of make a note of which button it was you pressed.
I'm going to suggest to
Do
Mac
you want
that
to
I've
push a
heard about
button?
these things. Oh no, I'm not going to do that, Mac. No. I'm going to say to him, I've heard about these machines that, you know, in the big cities and stuff like that just push like capsuled messages around. People put a message in a container and it gets fired off to other rooms. Maybe it's one of these things. I'm going to just push a random button.
Okay. I would like you to make a courage check as well.
Does that come under... Sorry, what was that
It's
again?
willpower. Willpower, courage.
Okay. Sorry, just... Roll. 14. We've got 4, 4 and 6. 6 is my
14.
stunt dice. So I pull that lever like a boss.
So you sort of like, you go, aha, and you pull a lever, and as you pull a lever, there's you hear these cogs start to wind and turn, and what you notice about the room is it suddenly gets a lot hotter and a lot warmer in here, and you
Right.
notice that there's bits of the pipe that sort of just start to shake ever so sudden as they sort of are brought back to life, and this machine in this room just starts to shake around. And you sort of like look slightly confused. And Tink, as you're there pressing a button, you press the button, and all of a sudden the room you're in starts to glow this really bright orangey red, and you feel the warmth come down. And Galen, you get this same sensation as this room that you're in just starts to warm up and sort of come to quite a nice cool temperature, and the light almost feels like sunlight hitting your face.
Aha!
What
I
have,
knew
what have
I'd
you
find the
done,
combination.
Tink? What have you done?
It appears I've activated these machines, or at least the glow lamps within this room.
Okay, I'm going to sprint back down the stairs and go and retrieve Tink and Galen.
Okay, so you sort of run down the stairs.
I'm
You sort of
going to push
as
more
I
buttons if I'm
enter-
left on my own.
As I enter the room and I see Tink, I'm like,
you're going to
Tink,
push
what have
more
you done?
buttons.
He's still there.
Okay,
He's
so
still
we've
there,
got-
like pressing the button. He's
You guys are back. So as you're pressing buttons, what's now happening is like as you press things, the lights start to dim and come on and dim, and you sort of find a lever that sort of changes the intensity of the light. Mac, as you're there pressing buttons, nothing much really happens. You don't really know what you're doing, and then you hit this one button, and there's this almighty clunk and crack. And you again hear these large cogs starting to turn and wind. But it doesn't sound like it's coming from this room.
That's gonna be good.
Gillis.
I'm miles away now.
Gillis.
From the other room, so do I catch the faint echo of
No,
What
not
about
where
your
you
ears?
are at the other
Yeah.
side of the
well,
abyss.
to be fair, I've got a focus in hearing, and my perception is level 3. So
Okay,
potentially
go
I
on.
would
Okay,
hear it.
I'll say roll a perception
Okay.
because you are kind of focused on pressing buttons.
Okay. Well, it's a 6, and a 5 plus my 3.
A 6, a 6, and a 5.
And
So I'll
my
say that.
face.
Okay, so as you're pressing these buttons, you do hear this. Gillis, very quietly, but you
He's
also
like he's
do
right
hear
next
these
to him.
large cogs starting to turn. Yeah.
So Tink kind of just stands bolt upright. I believe Mac is calling you, Gillis. Perhaps we should go and assist. And then he just
Okay,
turns
so-
around and strides out to where Mac is.
Okay, I sort of match your stride, which for me is like a sort of slow jog because you're 7 foot nearly, and I'm a
Like a
very
canter.
tall elf. Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk stride towards Mac. Okay, well, out of the room and up to where Mac
Okay,
is.
so you sort of like make your way towards where Mac's voice was coming from, which was the Grand Plaza, sort of in this central area. You sort of do see the steps, the footsteps of Mac and Gillis as they went up to the top. What you do notice as soon as you walk in, that the door over to the right-hand side that was once shut is now just slowly opening in front of your eyes.
Does it look
Very
like a
odd.
kind of a disco going on with all the buttons being pressed and all the lights changing? What is going on in here? Dwarven disco. Yes.
Oh, where's he gone? Oh, there he is. Okay, so I'm going to stop in my tracks, and rather than go and see Mac, just sort of peer into the door. Not go up to it, just sort of look from where I am, see if I can see through the gap as it's open.
So, as this door's opening up, you sort of peer into this room, and what you see with your dark vision is the room itself is slow, is like got a very dim glow to it at this moment.
Cool.
You see a long room with 4 large stone tables, sort of arrayed so that they go away from you, so they're in lines. The air as it strikes you out of this room is thick and heavy. It lines the back of your nose with a really uneasy feel. As you look around and peer in, you start to get glimpses of bodies, skeletons, just hunched over cups in this hall.
What is it with people in cups in this place?
This is not a mine. This is a tomb.
Okay, so I'm going to just reiterate what I can see to the guys. Like, guys, this looks pretty hairy in here. Hey, Max, stop pressing things for a second.
I'll come down and see what they're looking at.
So
Man,
you,
this
sort of
was-
you shout up and it sort of echoes up and Matt comes down. And,
This
and
must
at
have been
this time,
some
the doors...
crazy disco that went on here.
Gentlemen and Mac, might it be erudite of us to assume that maybe this place could serve as the sanctuary for the Iceborne Raiders? This does appear quite livable, and aside from a few corpses, in quite good in quite good condition.
It's so livable, Tink, that everyone we've met here is dead.
They have no further need for it, clearly.
This is true.
As the
But,
doors...
It's fairly
how
hidden,
did they
so they
die?
doesn't get,
Like what? It doesn't exactly
Sorry,
look like they, like just passed away or something. They're all sat around tables. Why are they all suddenly dead in this one room?
Yeah, can we examine
So
the
at this
body?
point... At this point, the door opens a little bit further, and you can sort of start to see a little bit further into the back of the room, because the darkness was absorbing it. What you do see is you see a slightly raised area, where there is some kind of throne. And atop this throne, there is a large being sat. bigger than the warrior back at the Skjalvold clan. Bigger than any of you.
Is
At
it
this
alive?
distance, what you can see across its lap is a staff. And his hand rests in its lap with a large, and probably the largest drinking horn you have ever seen.
Well, dibs on that
Score.
staff.
Well, not the drinking horn.
Already got
We
one
know
of
Max
Tink
those.
was a drinker. He,
So is this dead? This thing at the end?
Well, you're still at the far end of the room. You can't really tell from this distance.
let's go and kick
Yeah.
it and see what happens.
The other people
Yeah,
that are all
let's go
dead,
kick
are
it.
they skeletons or are they just?
In
Recently
here,
dead.
that some of them are, because it's so dry in here. Some of them are skeletons where sort of the flesh is rotted away, but a few of them are like desiccated, so utterly dried out.
Okay.
I sense a boss fight.
But they all, the one thing that you notice as you look at them all, is that they're very peaceful. They look peaceful.
That's your
Yeah,
wave
they
of
haven't
ads
died in
when
any
they come
sort
back
of
to life.
trauma, have they?
Let's
okay.
let's all go and have a look at this big throne.
Yeah,
Look, that's a giant
let's-
chair over there. Let's
Tink
go have a
will
look at
wander
it.
back down from up at the top. He's kind of examined the levers as if he knows what he's looking at, but he doesn't. He's probably got less of a clue than Mac when he's looking
Whilst
at all
you
the
might
levers
be
and
an
buttons on
excellent tailor, you're definitely not going to be
Yeah.
good at a disco. You know, DJ.
Exactly.
Step away
Got
from
no
the top
sense
of
of
my
rhythm.
friend.
So this room's about 50 metres long, and you sort of make your way, and you sort of look at the scene, you sort of see, like, it's almost like the place was laid out for some kind of feast, and there's probably about 20 or so different, like, they look like mixtures of humans. Some of them are slightly smaller, some of them are taller. It's just a real mix of individuals. And there's probably about 20 or so of them just scattered around this room. But at the end, this large being is just sat there. He's wearing some kind of armour that just sits over his lap, down to the ground, and he's got some sort of makeshift crown around his head. His eyes are shut, but his skin is dried. Like, he has no bones exposed, it's just dry skin. And he just sort of seems to be sat there with this drinking horn in his hand.
King of
As
the
you're
Leopard.
now a little bit closer, you notice that the staff on his lap is really intricately engraved with runes, and at its tip is this black crystal held within this golden clasp.
Is it
Tink's in
made
quite a
of
good
metal
mood
all
at
the
this
way
point.
through?
Sorry, I had two people at the same
Sorry.
time. Sorry,
Go on, Joe.
no, it's
You
fine.
only... Oh, sorry, I was just going to ask if the staff was wood all the way through, or is it metal?
It's metal. It's like it's pretty much all metallic, engraved. It's got some kind of like leathery handle that looks like very old and worn in the centre, but the majority of this is metal.
Cool, thank you. Sorry, Lee, carry on.
It's alright, yeah, Tink's just kind of in quite a good mood at this point. He's taken to like twirling his cane as he strides into the hall and like along it towards this big being at the far end on the throne. So I'm just striding through the hall basically towards
As
it.
you get to this point as well, you do notice there's another door just off to the side, and you notice this one is it's a stone door. Just off to the side at the back.
Okay.
Can I all these corpses? Can I just can we check that they're not carrying any purses of gold or silver or
Loot the
stuff
dead.
that we can...
I would
Oh, they've
like
got no
you
need of it, have they?
make a searching check, perception searching.
Perception searching is
Yep.
12.
12. Okay. So what I would like you to do is roll a D100, please.
Okiddly dokiddly.
Tink
I
is looking
rolled
round going, oh yes,
a
this will
32.
do wonderfully.
32. Okay. You sort of like look around on one and you find like a really intricate box. It's really quite pretty. It's got little metal engravings around the side. It's got a couple of those runes that look like the ones on the door. It's a very nice little box.
A box, sorry.
A box, yeah. A box.
Yeah, I'll have
Small
that.
box. Okay, you now have a right. You've got a.
Two
you've
boxes.
got a small box.
Small box.
A small box with dwarven runes.
What are those boxes in real
Nice.
life that are like the curse boxes? Is it Gibbuk boxes or something like that? The Jewish sort of cursed boxes, with them bound in wax, so to keep a demon inside them.
That's what he's picking up. A demon! Aha! I'll write that one down for later.
Yeah. You're welcome. So we're all just basically running off. You said there was dim light in here. Is it enough to see without torchlight? Obviously, Mac and I are okay, but
Yes, now that like there's this light on, it's sort of like this dim light that lights up the whole room.
cool.
I feel like
so. Sorry, Gillis just going to remark at the 20 odd dead bodies and just shake his head at the absolute waste of perfectly good meat that could go into the ground to refresh nature. It's just, he hates things that are just stone and cold, and yeah, people don't deserve to be left to mummify like this. They should go back into the earth.
what
So
strikes me
brings
as
his mood down.
odd is that this guy sat on the throne has got this makeshift looking crown. Like, that doesn't. If you're a king, surely you'd have quite an elegant looking crown, or something that looked a bit more kind of like hardy than a makeshift crown. Someone go
It might
grab
be
that
more
staff
intricate
as
than
well.
you think. You get
That
it.
looks
Yeah,
interesting.
you get it.
Well,
No, you
Tink
touch the
is
staff.
kind of.
You touch it
you
first.
Can hear,
You do it.
You can see
Go on, Mac, I
Tink's
dare
like
you.
eye beams swaying, like swinging around the room, and you can keep hearing muttering to himself, "Yes, yes, this will do wonderfully. The Iceborne Raiders will thrive in this place." As he strides, he's twirling his cane, and he's walking closer to this big being in the throne.
All right, Mac will go and get the staff and crown for them.
Yeah.
For Galen.
So, you walk across. What do you go for first?
What was it you actually asked for? Did you ask for the staff, didn't you?
Yeah, grab that staff.
Okay, I'll grab the
Looks
staff
impressive.
first.
Okay. So, as you reach
Pat on the
out
back as he
to
goes up.
touch the staff, you grab hold of the staff, and there's this moment in the room where, as you touch the staff, the hand that's sort of just resting on the staff clutches it too, grabs hold of the other end, and the once shut eyes open and stare through you, and there's just this large grip, and this drinking horn just raises up, and you just sort of see this sort of inhale of like air into the lungs, and at the same time this energy flows out of the crystal, hits into the body of this being on the chair, and at that moment the fist comes up holding the drinking horn, smashes you across the face.
That was uncalled for.
That is a...
We've woken the hive.
That is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
He does. That is 14 points of damage.
Jesus.
Okay.
As he smashes you across the
Operation
face.
Pants Down.
I'm a bit worried because I'm quite close. Like, I'm nearby here. I'm the next closest target.
And he smashes you across the face, and you sort of get knocked to one side through this sort of unnatural strength. And he stands up out of this, and you sort of all see this being, and it's sort of like slightly awkwardly, but it's holding this staff, clanks it down on the ground, and just this voice just comes out of it. It just looks at you all and says, "Who disturbs our sleep?" And just looks
Mac,
at you all.
I'm going to get out my flail and I'm going to hit him back.
Okay.
Flail? It's not
I
a
would
flail,
like
is
you-
it? It's a, whatever it is. It's a...
Your maul. I would
Maul.
like you to all roll.
Here's your
initiative.
answer.
Negotiation is out the window. Okay. Initiative is what are we adding to that?
So it's your dexterity.
Oh,
so it's
no.
3d6 plus your dex.
I'm going to die before anything happens.
12.
So I would like you to so hang on, let's go 20 and above. Anybody got 20 and above? No, 15 and above. No, 10 and above.
Yes.
Bang on 10.
Okay, who have we got on 10?
12.
13.
So Galen on 13, Tink on 12, and Gillis on 10. Cool. Mac, what did you get?
8.
Oof.
Okay. It's alright, don't worry.
That blows
nice
my
knowing
face.
you, Mac.
Worst. I rolled an almighty 4. So
Wow. J rolling.
yeah. Okay, so as Mac got this, is going into attack. The combat starts. So Galen, you're up first, and you see Mac going towards the giant to fight him.
Leroy.
Okay, so I feel like I need to go and he took that massive hit across the face, so I'm going to try and move up behind Mac and try and heal him.
Okay. So as you sort of run across behind him, like the distance in here, for you folks, you're all quite close to each other. So you run across and you plant your hand on his side.
Let's do this.
Go for it.
No.
No, just like today, like there's no energy. Can't get these hands warm enough, and you sort of try and dissipate this energy through, and just nothing happens. What would you like to do?
Gillis makes a mental note of thinking, Garen's not here for the healing, is he?
Just an excuse to put his hands on us.
Yeah, it's
It's just touching everyone.
Is there anything else you would like to do, Galen?
I think at that point I'm going to go into guard. Can I guard with anything left?
Yeah, because you've got
Guard up minor action.
Yeah, so yeah, you can go into guard. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guard
Cool.
up.
So up next is Tink.
Is there any form of cover in this room, or is it completely open other than the big long
all
table?
massive
There's
tables.
the long tables that are sort of that are some sort of cover. Yes.
Don't really want to go near them. I think Tink will stand his ground, and he might actually try and engage this person in conversation. Hello, Mr. Giant. So, I mean, for the first time in his very long life, he is feeling like apprehension at this. He's quite worried.
Okay. So you sort of you mutter out hello towards him. Okay. Is that anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, well, I'd like to say we found our way in. We thought this place was empty. Would you happen to know about a shipment of coats that went missing in this region?
Okay. Gillis, you're up.
Okay,
Oh, what? No roll or anything? Wow.
So, I just want to quickly look at. Obviously, this big guy is kicking off, and he's just giving Mac quite a facial high five. What about the other bodies in the room?
Nothing's happening to them. You sort of have a quick
Twitches.
glance. Nothing seems to be happening there.
Alright, in that case, I am going to. Am I in range to Arcane Blast?
Yes,
dude.
you would be in range. You're all quite close to each other, so yeah, you'll be in range.
Cool, he's getting a crow to the face. Depending on what I roll. Remember, it's not a real crow, it's purely magical energy.
Picks up a crow and throws it.
No animals were harmed in the making of this this
And
crow.
that adds my accuracy, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Adding my 2 accuracy, I have 5.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Is it triple one?
Yeah. Get one
Nice.
stun point though.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get stunt point on that, right?
Yeah, you got to pass it for that.
Oh.
So no, unfortunately, with your
Oh,
5, you don't quite hit the giant sort of being that's in front of you.
Okay.
So you sort of fling it towards. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Yeah,
That's
I'd
your
like to
major
jump
action.
up on top of one of the tables, just to,
Okay.
To look badass.
I don't know.
Yep. So
Yeah.
you jump up on top of one of the tables.
Hey-yo.
That is fine. Okay. So up next is Mac.
Yeah, I'm swinging at him.
Okay, go for it.
It's just going to be a one-hit dead thing.
Okay, so that's at least a double, but that is not a high. What does that say? 9 plus my.
It's your fighting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not going to hit. That's 10.
10 hits.
Ah, okay.
He
With-
is a massive giant.
All right, and I got
yes.
I got 4 stunt points.
Oh, nice. Yep. So you can use those.
Okay, all right. Let me hit him first. So,
Yep.
and I'm going to use my pinpoint accuracy. So once per round, I get an extra D6 if my dex is higher than him.
Okay.
And my
What's your
dex
dex?
is 3.
Your dex is definitely higher than his.
So that's 3d6. Alright, so that's 10, 12. So that's 15 points of damage.
Nice. Good hit.
And
Cool.
then stunt points. I can roll another d6. Oh, not stunts. Okay. Sorry.
So as you sort of bring down this maul, it sort of strikes him across the side of the face, and he sort of like looks back up towards you. Sort of decide where your next strike is going to land.
Sorry. Alright, I'm going to use 2 mighty blows with my thing, so
Okay.
I get 2 more d6.
Nice.
Go for it.
7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Okay, so as you sort of bring across your maul, you bring it back across his face, smack him again, and you sort of strike it across upwards as well, doing another 7 points of damage to him. Awesome. Cool. As you sort of like smack him away, there's this bit of dry skin smashes off his face, exposing a bit of the jaw below. Onto its go. So...
Oh, I'm going to put, as my minor action, I'm going to put my guard up.
Okay, you're going to put your guard up. Awesome. So what he's going to do is he picks up the staff and he slams it onto the ground. And as he slams it onto the ground, you sort of see that this dark energy from the staff starts to fly out. And he's going to cast Puppets of Fate. So what he's going to do is we'll see if he passes
Team
this
America.
to start with.
Is that like a buff spell for us, right?
He'd like to think. Okay, so he has succeeded on that. So what you have to do is if you fail, I can if you pass a test, I can make you re-roll it.
Ooh.
The number of times equal to my stunt die, which I'm not going to tell you how many times that is. You'll find out. At the same time, this sort of energy flows back, sort of towards his body, and you sort of feel that the staff reinvigorates him ever so slightly. Right, so it's up to Galen. Your go.
So, seeing that this staff obviously holds a lot of magical energy, I think I'm going to, and I'm pretty close to him, I think I should be able to put my guard up. So something I've noticed actually, so I didn't know this before, but you actually have to declare guard up before you do any other actions. Because you suffer a minus penalty from it. I've only just read that now though. That's fine. So I'm going to put my guard up, and then I'm going to attempt to do a melee attack against his staff.
Okay. So roll to hit.
So this is on fight. You have to remind me if I've got a specialization. Sorry,
Yeah.
a focus in the weapon that I'm using.
It's
What
plus,
does that do?
+2.
Plus
to
2.
roll.
Okay.
Yeah,
14.
so being a fighter, you can make yourself
13
really
with
good
a
at hitting.
-1 for the guard.
Okay. 13. Okay, so that hits. Roll. Did you roll any stunt points? or
No, I
anything on
didn't. No.
that? Okay, so what I say is you come across, you sort of hit the staff, but at the sort of same time it sort of like knocks it, not from his hand, but he sort of holds onto it and brings it back and looks down at you. What you do notice is you sort of hit him, you manage to sort of scrape him across the leg at the same time, so I'd like you to roll damage on him, please.
Okay. So that is 8 damage. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay, cool. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to do, or are you good?
I think that's it. Yep.
Okay. Tink. You'll notice he just didn't listen to what you said last time round. There was no recollection of whatever. He seems as focused on the combat as you were on the console earlier.
Okay. So at this point, I think he will engage his defense protocols. He will. I think he'll just kind of stand. He's sort of dumbstruck, but he's got enough wits about him to kind of lift his arm and ready his pistol, his built-in pistol in his arm, and take a shot.
Okay.
I think, and then I'll back away after that. So the shot. Oh dear. 3, 3, and a 1 plus 2 is 7, 8, 9. It's probably a miss.
I would like. Okay, so as you sort of hit, you sort of feel this moment. You sort of like pull the trigger and fire. I would like you to re-roll it, please.
Okay. Okay, that is 7, 8, 9, 10.
You just didn't want to get hit by a pistol. That's all.
Yeah.
So as you sort of like, you feel for this moment that like something was like moving your hand off target, but you fight it and bring it back and loose off a shot. Roll your damage.
Okay. Can I attempt to use Pinpoint Attack? My dex is only 1.
Yes, it succeeds.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm adding 1d6, so I'm on 2d6 plus 3 for damage. So the damage is 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 3, 11.
11. Nice.
Boom, headshot.
Okay.
And then he would like. I'm assuming there's a minor action. I've got no stunt points on that, but I would like to move away, maybe back towards tables to be out of like striking distance of him.
Okay. So you sort of move a little bit away, so you move out of the fact that he can come and get you.
Yeah,
you can do that. Awesome. Mac, you're up.
Okay. I will just hit him again. Oh, actually, I
You're
will.
way faster than Mac.
I will aim for.
Oh yeah,
what's
sorry, Gillis. Yes, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. So stood on the table.
Much of a muchness.
I'm just going to sort of try and hit him again with arcane. Yeah, arcane blast.
Go for it.
Yeah, none of my other spells are really combat based.
Just fire now.
I mean, arcane blast is quite combat based.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's not really a
you can
spell,
use that
it doesn't
for.
take any magic points. It's just sort of a weapon, basically.
Yeah.
My spells are like blending into the forest and stuff like that. In a cave. So I got, with my accuracy, 16. No
16,
stun points.
that hits. Roll damage.
Which for arcane blast is 2d6, is it? Why have I not wrote this down? That's
I haven't
pretty
written
much
down one of your main things, right? It is
Standard J admin.
Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't act surprised about
It is
that.
1d6, 1d6 plus your willpower.
That was it. I knew it. 1d6 plus willpower. Okay. Is 6.
6
total.
Okay, cool. So as you blast this sort of crow towards him, it flies out. You hit the target, and it sort of smashes onto his armor on the side, and he sort of just like glances in your direction, almost as if that made absolutely no impact on him whatsoever. Okay, up next is Mac.
Okay, I am going to put my guard up this time before I do my roll, like I meant to, and
Still
I will
hit last time.
I will get a. I'll do it to the +2, so I'll take a +2 penalty to my roll.
Okay.
And that isn't too bad. That's 11 minus 2, so 9.
9. Okay. I would like you to re-roll that, please. He's using up his last re-roll.
So it's like he must be quite an easy target. If you're
Okay,
making
yeah,
us
that's
re-roll
much
nines.
better. That's 9. That's 12. That's 11 that time.
Okay, that hits. His puppets are fake because he's so easy to hit. It's like, ah! Okay, so sort of like as you come in to strike again with your maul, you feel this energy to try and like draw your maul to sweep and miss, but you manage to find your target. Roll your damage.
Okay, I'll use my pinpoint accuracy again, so I get an extra d6. And that is 11 points of damage.
Okay. Alright, so as you sort of strike across, you hit him again, sort of in the leg is sort of where you can kind of reach, and sort of hit him in the gut, leg and gut, and he sort of strikes up, and sort of again this bit of dry flesh sort of pings off, and you sort of see some bone exposed beneath, and he just sort of stares down at you. So what he's going to do, he's going to sort of look at this room and goes, "Ugh, stay away!" And what he does is he brings the staff around to his centre, puts his second hand on it and smashes it down into the ground. And as it does so...
It's an AoE. No.
Yeah, so he goes... so as he does this and smashes it to the ground, this black energy flies out of the staff, flies round into the room and just goes straight into some of the bodies around the room. Tink, the one that's next to you, just suddenly sort of stands up and turns and sort of starts making its way towards you.
Oh, hello.
And over to your left, two more raise up and just start moving towards you, sort of like with this mindless aggression. So there's another three sort of undead beings just moving towards you. What he's then going to do is he's then going to use at the same time. This happens, you see some of the black energy goes into him as well. Okay, cool. Right, so that was his go. So, Galen, back up to you.
This guy needs to go down, I think.
What gave it away? Was it the the sense of foreboding
That the
evil?
negotiations failed.
Okay, so I am going to do... I'm going to try and... Like, this guy, is he still in his kind of... sat on the throne, or is he stood up now and he's kind of...
He stood in front of it. So he sort of
okay.
stood in front of it, just like in this fight. He's almost like stood slightly over Mac.
Yeah.
On this slightly raised path.
Okay, I'm gonna aim and then just do an all-out attack.
Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
try and just kneecap him. Let's try and smash one of his knees in.
Yeah,
Take
his
him
kneecap's
down
probably
a
at like
lot.
head height, right?
Yeah, probably. That's all right. So what does
Yeah, it's working on-
aim
they're
abs
all the
plus
same
1,
side
right?
when they're
5,
horizontal.
9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17.
17, that hits. Roll your damage.
Yep. 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, so as you sort of like try and smash him across the knees, like you hear this clink as it smashes off his metal knee pad, almost as if it does no damage whatsoever to him.
Yeah, so he's easy to hit, but he's hard to wound.
Okay, up next is Tink.
So these zombies things are getting quite close to me, aren't they?
So there's one right next to you. There are two over the far side of the room that are sort of heading towards your friend's side.
So the thing is, at this point, Tink is still a bit naive, and like, this guy hasn't attacked him yet. So I don't feel that he would lash out first. I think maybe he will sort of go, "Oh my," and sort of back away.
I mean, Tink is the dumbest character ever. If this undead chap is like
awkward. He doesn't
socially
pick up on
awkward.
cues.
He's not going to sell him any robes, is he? Look.
Well, he's not a combat robot. You know, Orions are no longer combat automata. They are now, trying to find their way in the world, and so this is unusual for him. He was never an automaton, never a combat model. So he's going to
Question
kind
is,
of.
how has he made it this far?
Well, he was working in a shop. It's tailoring clothes. That's all he did. Like he'd never known. He'd never really been out of Marquee. At this point, he will kind of back away from this zombie. We'll call it, for want of a better word.
Yep.
He will probably have enough sense to at least ready his. It will draw his rapier thing from his cane.
Okay.
At least and back
And
away.
you're going to ready an action to fight it.
Yeah, I guess he will just put his guard up. I don't know if that's going to make any effect, but
Okay. Yeah. So you can sort of put your guard up and then move away. That's completely fine.
okay.
Awesome. So then it's on to the newcomers go. So the one that's in front of you, Tink, is just going to rush you.
Okay.
And it's sort of like as it does, like it sort of rushes.
Maybe
you,
he wants to
and as
give
it
you a
does, yeah, and it does look like he's going for this hug. So with your with your guard up,
Yep.
that makes it harder for me to hit. So, let's see how he does. That is a 6, 11, 14, 15 to hit.
Okay. Do you want my defence?
Yes.
11.
11, yeah. So even with the bonus for guard up, that doesn't help. So they are going to do 4 points of damage to you.
Ouch.
So you minus your armor rating from that, whatever that might be.
My armor rating is 5.
Okay, well you don't take any damage at all.
Okay.
So it like comes across and it like sort of smacks you and
Savages your
really
robes.
knock you over.
It's biting
Yeah.
my arm and it's just going clink, clink, clink of the teeth on metal.
Cool. So the two that are sort of on your flank, one's going to rush Mac, and the other one is going to rush Galen and sort of go to the master's help. So
Nobody's
the
warned
first one,
Love it.
the first one that is going to hit Mac.
Gillis has got a
a
commanding view and hasn't warned anyone of what's going on behind him.
Yeah. So that is.
Not my go yet.
Throwing birds.
Just juggling crows.
That is because.
Can't you talk out of sequence though? Surely that's an incidental action.
No, you could talk in your go.
Oh, you
but,
can't. Oh, you can't do it out of
no.
sequence. Oh, okay.
So that is 3, 6. That's an 11 to hit.
Oh, 12 is my defence.
Okay, so it sort of like comes in and you're focused on this big thing, and like all of a sudden you just feel this like scraping at your side, and you sort of turn around and sort of manage to dodge out the way. The one against Galen. Wow, the one against
Mumbles
Galen
not like this, Jeremy.
is really actually trying to give you a hug. That is a 9.
Defense 12.
No, there you go. You are fine. Right, on to Gillis.
So Gillis, the table that he's stood on, he's going to look around. How many bodies are on this table?
So the table that you're on, so that you jumped up onto the left-hand table, you sort of like look behind you. The two in front of you have just disappeared and started charging. You sort of look behind you. There's another 8 just sort of lined up behind you, just sort of slumped over these cups.
What I'm going to do is put my hand on the table and cast Regrowth to try and entangle the table around the remaining 8. I'm not absolutely sure that these things are not going to come and kill me.
Okay.
It's either that or I grab my cudgel and just start playing whack-a-mole.
So you're going to cast Entangle. Okay.
No, it's I haven't got ensnaring roots yet. I'm just using Regrowth. Basically, I can just grow wood into...
Grow wood.
Yeah. Basically, I'll turn the table
Okay.
back into a sort of...
Big
little...
flat tree.
No. Yeah, just... The idea being that the tree will just... Well, the table will become sort of more like a tree. It's not as ensnaring as ensnaring roots. It's more just of a hindrance, really.
As you sort of place your hand on the table, you remember that the table's made out of stone.
Oh, is it? They're wooden tables. Who makes stone tables?
Dwarves.
That makes sense.
So as this thought comes into your mind, so I will let you do whatever you like. I'm not that mean, but yeah.
Okay.
Plan B.
I can see Tink's getting into some trouble. I mean, these guys behind us may stay dead, they may not. Let's find out. But I'm going to go try and help Tink out. So you use an action to aim, and then I'll do the arcane blast at the zombie biting Tink, and hopefully not hit
Ever
Tink.
effective crow gun.
So roll. So you are
Yeah.
you staying on the table or are you moving towards him?
Well, I've aimed, so that's my 2 actions.
Okay, so sorry, you're aiming. Sorry, I missed that one. So you're aiming. Yep, go for it. Roll to hit.
I like to imagine he's like firing him out of like
It's
an
only
ethereal bow.
10.
Only
10,
10.
but with
That
2
hits. Roll
stun
damage.
points. It's got 2 stun points. So hang on,
And 2
my
stun
stuns.
points as well. Nice.
Yeah.
Do
So
something good
damage
with
will be 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's my stunts? On my phone.
Mighty-
Okay, 8
mighty
damage.
blow. Be a
Well,
good one.
yeah. Anything else you want to do? Mighty blows D6.
Mm,
6, yeah.
Nah, it's only 2
Sorry,
stun
did
points.
you say you're doing pierce armour?
No, I'm just shooting my crows at the zombies.
Okay.
I've only got 2 stun points, not really much I can do with it, except for reduce the magic point cost, which... Yeah, or extra d6 damage. Yeah, I'll do the extra d6 damage for fun.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I don't think it matters.
One hell of a crow.
Another 3.
Well, you want 8
Just
damage.
gets bigger
another
and
11.
smellier.
11. So as you sort of flying this crow towards it, sort of like swoops towards this sort of this mindless corpse that's just sort of scraping at Tink, and it sort of smacks through its chest and just breaks its chest in two, and it sort of just slumps down to the ground, lifeless. Cool.
I was expecting it to be embedded in the back of its head, like the Rasmus.
Mac, you're up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep swinging at him. Oh, I do.
Okay.
I'll do my guard up again.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so that's 11, 12, 13, minus 2, 11 again.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, so it's going to be... I once again use my pinpoint accuracy. That's 3d6. That is... Oh, that's good. That's 8. That's 9, 13, 16 points of damage.
16
Wow.
points of damage. Nice. So
Lord.
as you come across and sort of smacking, like you feel that went straight through his armour and hit him really much in sort of like the chest cavity, and he sort of breaks part of this old armour off and sort of smacks through, snaps some bone through, and he sort of looks at you with this intent hate in his eyes. So when it gets to his go, first thing that's going to happen is around the room you see this dark energy fly out of the staff, and it flies into another 3 corpses within the room. A second one over by Tink. Gillis, 2 behind you, just start like moving up.
I knew it!
The main guy is going to just bring his sort of large fist down and smack Mac. That is... Oh lordy. That is a treble 6.
Ooh.
So that is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
So
Before we
what
do,
he's-
Jack, can I just ask, when I got hit by the steam earlier, would
Yes.
my armour have helped that?
No, not that one, because it's direct damage. So armour is for combat damage.
Alright.
There's like hazard damage and things, so that particular steam, no. Okay, so what he's going to do is he's going to seize the initiative, which means that he goes to the top of the combat rank. So he goes to the top of the initiative table.
Son of a bitch.
And what he's going to do is he's then going to do a pierce armour against you. So he's going to his sort of clawed fist sort of like digs into your side. He does that was that. He does 10 points of damage to you.
Okay. Is that 10 points of... And that halved my armour, did it, first?
So it's 10 points, so you minus half your armour, yeah. So if your armour was 4, you
Yes, that's
take
2.
8 points. Yeah. Okay, so it's back on to his go, and because it's his go again, some dark energy. Dark energy leaves the staff and strikes into another 3 corpses around the room. So, Tink, you've now got 3 on you.
Yep.
Galen, you've got 3 on you as well, and then there's the 2 on Mac and Galen. Sorry, Gillis has got 3 on him.
Gentlemen,
Cool.
it would appear that these people are no longer friendly.
And what he's then also going to do is he's actually going to come down and take a strike at Galen, because he's there. That is a 13 to hit.
So I believe that is a hit because I've got defense 12.
Okay, and he does 11 points of damage to you.
Okay.
Jeez, the hits hard. That'd be like a third of my health pool.
Okay,
Yeah.
and at that moment, you sort of see this energy leave the staff and sort of goes into his body and sort of regenerates a little bit of him. You see some of the sort of broken flesh starts to reform. But he's looking pretty hurt. Like, the last couple of strikes that Mac has dealt him is, like, starting to chink away, and it's sort of starting to, like, have to rebuild his body rather than re-energise him. So he's looking pretty hurt. Galen, you're up.
Yeah.
You some of that fire magic, fire boy.
Don't have any fire magic
where's
at the
it?
moment. I'm on a path to discover that. Just heal people at the moment. So what
With
does
fire.
all-out attack do, guys? If I just ask.
All out attack. I've got it here if you want me to read it out.
You put all the strength behind. You do +1 damage, but you suffer -1 to your defense.
I think I'm just going to go for an all-out attack on this guy. I think.
Okay. So you
Gonna try and hit
could, for example, aim and do all-out attack, or you could do guard up, all-out attack.
Okay, let's do aim and all-out attack.
Okay, cool. So
Here we
+1
go.
to hit.
So 18.
You had 1 to the roll for aim.
18.
Yeah.
That hits.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not getting my stunt dice. That's what would help to. Yeah.
But you had 1 to the
5.
damage as well because you're.
6
All-out
Five,
damage.
six damage with your +1.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, as you sort of strike across, it clinks off his armour to one side. You feel like this guy's
Guy's a tank.
he's pretty tough. Tink, you're up.
Okay. I think at this point I'm going to need to back away and reload. Is all. Well.
So you've got three of these things in front of you.
Yeah, they're within striking distance, aren't they?
They are, yes.
Would he? I think he would realise they're hostile now, wouldn't he? After one's attacked him. So yeah.
Yeah. The
actually-
one thing you noticed is that Gillis took down the one in front of you like really easily. Like, it's not often that you've seen that like one of his crows has just taken down an enemy like that.
So yeah, in that case, he will swing for the nearest one. I think with his sword.
Roll to hit.
6 and 2 2s is 10 plus accuracy is 2. 12.
Yeah, definitely hits. Roll
Okay.
your damage.
I did have a double 2 there, so I've got 2 stunt points, haven't I?
2 stunt points as well. Nice.
In that case, I would like to definitely use rapid reload because
Okay.
I need to reload the pistol, so the auto loaders have kicked in.
Nice.
And-
So as you sort of like switch in with the rapier, like there's this clink 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 as your pistol reloads itself.
and the damage of this is 1d6 plus 2. Is my dex higher than the enemy?
It is very much higher.
I'm going to add an extra dice to this then.
Okay.
Oh, well,
So
5
good dex.
plus 2, 7.
7. So as you come down with the rapier, you like strike this one across sort of like its head, and it just like the head just lops off and it just drops down to the side, dormant.
Curious.
Cool. Up next is the zombies themselves. So they're going to rush the people that they're fighting. So Tink, the 2 in front of you are going to rush you.
Yep.
The first one rolls a 9 to hit.
Not enough. 11 defense.
The second one also rolls a 9. So like you're sort of there dancing around with the rapier, managing to stay away from these things. Gillis, the 3 fighting you. First one rolls a 9 to hit.
Also 11.
Okay. Second one rolls 11 to hit.
Yep, so it's a
So
hit.
that one does 7 points of damage to you.
Cool.
And the last one rolls a 10 to hit, so it misses you.
Cool.
The one against Mac rolls 12 to hit.
12 is my defense.
Okay, so I managed to hit you. So you take 8 points of
I
damage.
think you actually had your guard up, didn't you? From
Yeah,
last
you
time?
did.
It only
actually
lasts the round. It doesn't last until your next go.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. And the next one on Galen is a 9, 10, 11 to hit as well. Sorry,
Yeah.
12 to hit.
Defense 12. But I went all out, so
Defense
defense 11. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you take 5 points of damage.
One point of damage.
Okay, Gillis, you're up.
Yep. Okay, so I'm still facing 3 of them that are swinging for me, aren't I? So.
Yep.
So I was still stood on the table. Are they on top of the table, or are they just grabbing for my legs?
they're like trying to grab at your legs and sort of maul at you from down at the ground. So you've got height advantage on them.
Roger.
For a change.
Well, it gives you +1 to your rolls.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, it's just gonna have to sort of run back down the table for one,
Okay.
and then just put
So
a
you-
crow into one of them.
Okay, so you're sort of moving away, going to throw a crow into one of them. Roll to hit.
Okay.
He's just pulling them out of like at the bottom of his sleeve,
Yeah.
just throwing them.
Okay, now it's I got 14. Just
Yep, that hits. Roll
Just-
damage.
gutted that I nearly got enough to do a split spell, so I cast it twice.
Oh.
Yeah, bastard.
Damn.
Damage though, so yeah, so it's gonna be 1d6. Hang on,
Plus your willpower.
that's what is only 5.
5. So that flies towards him. It smacks him, and sort of like this crow just like leaves this cavity in its chest, and it sort of just like looks and flumps down one of them on the table. The other two just still bearing down at you. Mac, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to keep swinging. I'm going to aim this time, so I get
Go for
+1
it.
to my... Ooh, okay. So, that is 17 to hit with a 6 stunt points.
Okay, that hits. Roll damage.
Alright,
Do him in.
so I'm going to use my pinpoint accuracy again to begin with. So that's 14 points for the first hit, and then I will use another. I'll just do another 3. I'll use 3. Hang on. Is there an exciting stunt I get for 6 points? Where am I stunned?
Well, lethal
yeah,
blow
that's
gives you an
lethal
extra
blow.
2d6.
And then lethal blow is 2d6 damage to your attack.
Oh, well, I just do 2 mighty blows, which is better than doing a lethal blow. And I get
You
my
only get one stunt,
You could-
don't you?
Yeah, you can only get one stunt, so you can do multiple stunts, but you can only do one stunt.
Oh, so I can't do 3
Yeah.
mighty blows.
3 of the same.
No.
I mean, you could be cheeky and do seize the initiative and put yourself back at the top of the order, so you hit him
Yep,
before
so you
he
get another
hits, and then
Yeah.
still do mighty blow.
Yep, so you'd add d6 and then you basically get another go before him.
Go for
Yeah,
lethal.
okay, yeah, I'll do that.
No,
So
no,
I'll do mighty blow and seize the initiative,
Okay, cool, so you do an extra d6 damage.
which was 3.
Combo.
So how much damage is that in total? Was 11? Wasn't it 11 plus 3? So 14.
Yeah, I can't remember what I rolled.
Don't forget to do piercing as well.
Okay, right, cool.
Pinpoint attack.
So,
You add an extra d6 as well.
Yeah.
That's an innate ability. That's not even a stunt.
Oh yeah, no, I do.
Alright.
I usually pinpoint attack every time.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, you're up next.
Right, I'm gonna hit him again, and I'm going to aim again.
Okay.
Just Mac wailing on this guy is brilliant.
So that's 11
Idea
to
of
hit,
aiming
and
with a melee weapon.
Yeah, it's just like focusing in on where to strike.
Yeah.
So 11 hits. Roll
that was a
damage.
double 4 that time with 4 on the stun
Nice.
dice. So I do my pinpoint accuracy again. I get an extra dice. Ooh, so that's 18, and then I will do mighty blow for another one. That's 2, 8. That's 20, and then I'll use pierce armor for my other point, and so that halves his armor. And I've got 1 point left. I've got anything to
John's
do.
looking like he's a crumpled mess. John's face is like, no.
Just knocks the
he's
armour
gone.
off him. There's just a naked
And I'll
skeleton.
stay
dude.
aware
Oh,
with
God.
my extra one I've got left.
So, what I would like you to do with all of that damage is I would like you to describe the killing blow.
All right. From the sneak attack he got on him, where he smacked him in the face, smacked me in the face. There's a little trickle of blood running from my nose, and it runs into my mouth. I lick it. I roar with absolute rage that he's made me bleed my own blood. I take my two-handed maul. I leap up and I smash him in the groin. as hard as I can.
So he's in a leap, and you smash him in the groin. As you do so, like, the joint between his hip, the pelvis just caves in and smacks through, leaving this gaping gap. And sort of with no stability, the bottom half of his body just crumples down on itself. And sort of as he falls, you just see his eyes roll back. And then you just say, ugh. You just hear him groan as he falls. Finally, sleep. And just drops back. And the staff clanks down onto the ground. As it does so, this energy just bursts out of the gem and smashes into the corpses that are standing around the room and blasts into their eye sockets, their ears, and it drops them all into dust. And at the moment that you sort of stand and you look around the room, brushing off your bruises and wiping the blood away from your noses, feeling that you've just come in quite a tough fight with this unknown being, you survey the scene and look each other in the eyes, and that is where we will stop today, and we will pick up next time round.
So, Mac, you're like Popeye, but with blood. I was expecting like your arms to bulge, and then like, you know.
I think we've got something here, guys. We're going to have to extract some of Mac's blood and just keep it on tap for when we need him.
Sprinkle a bit onto him when we need him to go ham.
Just feed him. Like Mr. T, you got to feed him milk to get him on a plane.
Slightly longer one, but no, that is
the
giant done. So next time round we'll find out what you folks do after the felling of the giant, and what else you
gonna press some more buttons and ask them if they found their coats yet. Oh wait, no, I know where
the coats. They're in the village.
You know where the coats are.
Yes, the Iceborne Raiders
just had a bit of a glitch in the system. It was all those pressing of buttons.
He just
more coats. I just need to find my coats. Just press it.
Bit of a mantra. What we'll find out is this is not the only shipment Tinker's lost.
There's coats lost everywhere.
Lost his memory upgrade.
Like when you get like an open world RPG and you're like, oh, there's some over here and there's some over there, and you got to find all 50 to collect the set.
Yeah. It's like Assassin's Creed, get all the coats.
Yeah,
rather than feathers.
Get all the feathers.
As long as he doesn't have to climb any towers, we should be alright.
Yeah.
Good
Christ,
stuff,
the damage you can do, Mac.
Yeah, he's just...
Mac is a machine.
He is.
Yeah, he's not very good at fighting, though. Yeah, it has to be said.
Not very good at fighting, just wailed in.
No, like he's strong.
When he does.
Strong. If he hits, then he can...
I think it's that pinpoint attack, isn't it? If your dex is higher than the targets or something, then it really helps.
Yeah.
What? How much health did you have left, out of interest, Rob?
I had 9 points of health left.
So
I was not
close.
convinced I was going to survive another hit.
But no, good stuff. No, I like how like lethal the fighting is in this. That it's like a couple of fights, so it's like smash. But yeah, good stuff, folks. So we will find out where this adventure goes next time round. But thank you as always, guys. That was awesome fun.
Thank you, John. That was really good.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for running.
Looking forward to the next one already. So thank you very much, listeners, for following this adventure along. And tune in next time if you want to find out where this goes next. Catch you later, folks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Thank you for listening to our show. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do. On that topic, if you did like the show, please leave us a review to help more people find their way to us. Anyway, we look forward to having you along for the next part of the journey. And just remember the most important question. What would you like to do?